Electric and plug-in vehicles are undergoing transformative change. With dozens on display at the 2018 New York International Auto Show, we're wondering, is it time to go electric? If you think electric cars are weird and have lackluster performance, you may want to take a second look.
Ian, tell us about what you do and your take on the hybrid and electric industry.
Well, I'm with AMCI. We've been around since the 80s. We started out in vehicle testing, so we're a third-party tester. So if you see competitive claims on television, usually it's our data. Over time, we've tested pretty much everything. But we're spending a lot more time, obviously, like everyone is, in hybrids and electric vehicles. And we sort of really look very, very seriously from a consumer perspective on the product, but also on where the technology is going. And I think there's clearly a lag effect of what consumers, think is out there and what is really out there.
Right, because people have this kind of old school version of like the basic Prius or like Generation 1.
Yeah.
What are you looking at and what are you seeing today?
Well, I think the thing we need to keep in mind is the average car on the road is almost 12 years old. So people's technology they're not in the market.
We looked at the new 2018 Nissan Leaf.
Well, the 2018 Nissan Leaf is an all-new redesign, second generation of Nissan's Leaf. So what we did to improve upon this vehicle is, of course, the all-new exterior design. It's more mainstream look than the previous version. We've also upgraded the battery, so there's a larger battery with this vehicle. It gives you up to 151 miles range, along with more power and more performance in this vehicle than previous generation Leaf. Also, there's more technology in this vehicle. So Nissan has Safety Shield technology, which we've incorporated into this with blind spot warning, automatic emergency braking, which is standard on the vehicle, along with a host of other safety and security features.
Kia makes electric and plug-in versions of its popular compact crossovers.
We have the Soul EV, which has been on the market for a couple of years now. It's got a longer range, bigger battery for 2018, runs 111 miles on a single charge, subcompact size car, so it's about the size of a Forte or a Civic or a Corolla on the outside, but it's big on the inside, and it rides a little higher too, so your visibility is better.
Hyundai's just introduced a new Kona that's a plug-in. It's all electric and it has a range of 250 miles. That's more than New York to Washington or New York to Boston. Inside, it's comfortable, roomy, and has sizable cargo space and a great large screen to navigate.
While upstart Tesla has had delays ramping up production of its upscale Model 3, the mainstream companies are striking back.
Electrification is going to be pervasive. And then, of course, in that electrification mix, you're going to have fuel cell vehicles, and you're going to have battery electric vehicles. And I think we're at sort of a tipping point, both in terms of consumer adoption of them and where the technology is going.
And his favorite vehicle will surprise you.
The car of the show for me is the Jaguar I-Pace.
So the British are coming, and they're coming on strong. I'm here with Dave Larson from Jaguar, who's going to talk us through this gorgeous car. Dave.
Hi, Lisa. Yes, this is our brand new Jaguar I-Pace that'll go on sale this August.
It's a beauty. Tell us.
Thank you. This is our first battery electric vehicle, and it really is true to the DNA of Jaguar. So you got to have some great styling. When you look at this vehicle, it's just fantastic styling, the familiar Jaguar J-Blade headlamps, LEDs, all standard. We have nice wheels on this one model. This is equipped with the 22-inch wheels.
What's the range, speaking of performance, of this car? How far does it go?
So the EPA estimate is 240 miles.
240, all right. So that'll get us from New York to DC, New York
on
to
one
Boston,
charge.
One charge,
right.
So we can go there.
And there's available DC charging, which is the fast charging. So on a DC charger, you can do 0 to 80% within 40 minutes. This packaging of performance with the 90 kilowatt battery, 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. So it's really quick, it handles, but then you have all the utility that you'd want of an SUV.
The Jaguar is extraordinary. The I-Pace has been very consistent with the concept art that they presented a few years ago. Dynamically, the car is going to be a home run. There's already been testing done on the car. We've not done it yet, but its acceleration, its plushness, it's going to show people that a real car company can make a really first-rate, groundbreaking electric vehicle for a profit.
Google's also collaborating with Jaguar on development of its self-driving vehicle.
It's interesting that Google chose Jaguar, as you're saying, and they've ordered 20,000?
20,000. That's a fairly committed relationship, I would call it.
So someone's testing this and looking at it and saying,
This is the real deal.
This is the way to go.
And with federal and state incentives, these vehicles are more affordable.
At a starting price of $29,990. Now, on top of that, there are also federal tax incentive of $7,500 and also applicable state and benefits and tax credits as well that could bring you below a $20,000 price point. So it's a very affordable vehicle.
The plug-in hybrid version, which is all new for 2018, that has a lot of incentives on it. There's a $4,500 federal tax credit and $1,100 state of New York incentive on the car. So that car starts at $27,000, and when you back out that money, it can be had. The plug-in version can be had for about $22,000 in New York. It can be bought for $33,000, and there's federal incentives and state incentives. So there's a $7,500 tax credit on the car, and in the state of New York, a $1,700 rebate. So that makes the car even more affordable.
We have a starting price point of $69,500, and that's before any incentives.
And so, and today, because you have the federal incentives and in many cases state incentives, you can easily take $10,000 off of that MSRP before we even talk to your dealer.
Right, so varying on state, federal $7,500, state varies, so absolutely correct.
Then add in lower running costs.
The one benefit of EVs is the fact that you don't have to go to the gas station anymore. So as opposed to a traditional internal combustion engine, you're not going and you're not filling up. So you're saving on gas every month, every year. You also don't have to go and do the normal maintenance checkups at the dealership. So no more oil changes.
The Soul EV, of course, there's hardly any moving parts. You have an electric motor, so there's no oil changes, there's no spark plugs, there's no mufflers. So all of that goes away. The only thing you need to do is rotate the tires and change the brake fluid, and that's it.
Between lower energy and maintenance costs, we're talking about saving roughly $100 a month. If you deposited that money into a long-term CD or municipal bond fund, in 10 years you'd have about $15,000.
I think the adoption rates, no one knows. There was a wonderful thing on cell phones. Someone in the 1980s predicted that by 2000, there'd be 900,000 cell phones in America.
With big incentives, greater choice, and major strides in performance, you might give some thought into going electric. For full-length interviews and more, go to Femonomics.com, Femonomics.tv, Femonomics on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.